And we're back and finishing things up with head coach Rechelle Turner. Coach, just brief thoughts on the game, and then we'll open up to questions.
I thought our energy, effort, and execution were outstanding from the beginning of the game. We knew, Macy was due a breakout game, so we wanted to put her in position to kind of get a pull-up jumper early. So put a new play in. Sure enough, she comes off, buries the first one, and the rest is history. She just needs to see ball go in the basket. It just was an outstanding shooting performance for her today, and our kids did a really great job of finding her in open space and allowing her to get those shots off. But when this basketball team shoots the ball well, we're dangerous because we know Caitlin's going to get what she gets. She's part of that shooting. I mean, she made 2 threes that I can remember. But we have the ability to stretch the floor in a lot of ways. Hannah can make shots. Jordan can make shots. Bria can make shots. We have an opportunity to do that. We just don't always take advantage of it. But I thought today we got off to such a great start offensively, and then defensively and rebounding was very good.
Well, you've been hoping for another score besides Caitlin. Here we go. Here's Mason.
And that's what we've asked for. I mean, I think to be successful in the long haul of this grind, that we have to have 3 or 4 players in double figures. Hannah's got to where she's averaging almost a double-double in conference play, which is outstanding. She's got to continue that. And then you got to have Macy, or you got to have Alexis, or you got to have Jordan. Bria, somebody's got to step up and get us to 3 or 4 scores in double figures. When we do that, then we're more well-rounded and we do a better job of distributing the basketball and getting it to different areas of the floor.
2 big wins after a tough Iowa trip. What was the message coming back from Iowa coming into this week?
Well, I mean, I think we got welcome to the Valley real quick in Iowa. I think that we didn't understand the physicality and the depth and the length of some of these teams and how good they are. I mean, this is a whole different level from top to bottom for us. So I think it's an eye-opening experience. We were disappointed. You can't get swept. We're trying to win a conference championship. There's things you can't get beaten on, and you can't get swept. So we got to find a way to get that one back. But I think that this team really has answered the challenge since we've been back. I mean, come back to Belmont. I mean, that was our prize. But they never wavered from the process of what we're trying to do. And they just kind of pulled together. And I think maybe the Iowa trip brought us closer together and a better understanding of the effort that it's going to take and the execution it's going to take to win in this league.
I took a closer look at the Bradleys, who they played coming into today. Their last game was against Illinois State, and it was a very close game. That had to worry you a little bit.
Oh, it did. I watched every second of it. And a matter of fact, it was a 10-point game, but it was a 3-point game. Bradley's ball with 2 minutes to go in the game. There's no quit in them. They're going to fight when they're making shots. They're dangerous. They didn't make a ton today, but they'll beat people. You better not take anybody in this league for granted. There's too many good coaches and there's too many good players. And on any given night, anybody can sneak up and get you. So we just got to be aware of that. But I just thought that our zone really locked them down, didn't give them a whole lot of open looks. I tell you, the Powell kid's really, really good player. Great footwork, great hands. I really like her. And she played really well today. And I think, they're going to continue to build and they're going to continue to get better.
It's hard to explain mathematically. I'm seeing some numbers right now, but just for 60% of the season, Macy Turley has been shooting almost 50% or better from 3. But her 2-pointer, either a layup or a jumper, hasn't been falling. It all fell together today. How would you best explain? Because it's not like she's taking bad shots. She's a 15-year basketball player. She doesn't take bad shots. What's changed, and maybe what led to that slow start from 2-point land?
Not sure. I mean, she's going to be the first one not to make any excuses, so I'm not going to make any excuses for her. But I mean, she does play through a lot. And sometimes when you're not quite right in the lower extremities, that throws you off a little bit, your balance, your knee bend on your shot, because everybody that plays basketball knows your shot starts with your legs. So again, I'm not going to make excuses for her. Nobody's been more disappointed in her shooting than her, but I knew she was just going to continue to work. She was going to be silent about it. She was just going to do what she does. And I think today's game is exactly what she needed. I expect her to shoot well from this point on. And I think shooters go through slumps. I mean, that's just part of it. Hannah was awful at the beginning of the year, and I said that to her face, but look how good she is now. So you can't sit soak and sour when things aren't going your way. You just got to put the work in and get back to it. And that's what these kids did. And I mean, again, you like to see it come to fruition today. I knew if we could get her off to a good start that she would have the type of day she had, and she did.
It's the first time in a while that her and Caitlin combined for such a high score as well. And I remember 2 years ago talking about them, I said they were a dynamic duo. that's what they are. That's the identity of those two. And it's the first time in a while we've kind of seen that from them. What's that kind of, what's your thoughts about that? You know, thinking back to those days to now.
Right. Oh, you love to see it. I mean, love to see both of them have big nights because that means more than likely than not, we're going to win the game. But we said evolution of our program. We have so many weapons. We have so many kids that can score, and there's only so many shots per game. So when you have other players that have double figure points, maybe Macy didn't shoot it as much, or maybe she didn't shoot it as well, or Caitlin didn't get as many touches. I mean, those things happen. And the thing about this team is they don't care who gets the credit. They just want to win. They don't care who takes the most shots. They just want to make them. And I think that just shows how special they are. You know, look down on the stat sheet. Jordan Hughes, 7 assists today. She's a shooter, but she realized today that they were covering her up. So she got Macy shots. She got other people's shots. But that's the type of kid that she is. And that's the type of team that we build together, because our chemistry and winning matters more than any individual accolade that you can give us. And if we can continue to stay focused forward and continue to play with intent and purpose, continue to share the basketball, then good things are going to happen for this team.
Then I know you already talked about Hannah a little bit, but 11 points and what felt like a quiet 11 rebounds, but she's really come along this season.
She has. I mean, she's the Hannah that we expect. She's the Hannah that we knew we had to have in conference play. And she's going to go out and she's going to give you everything she's got. Some nights she doesn't shoot the ball well, but she'll make up for it in other ways. She's going to hustle. She's going to rebound. She's going to make great passes to Caitlin. I mean, how many 6-foot forwards can make that high-low pass as well as Hannah does? I think that's something, again, not on the stat sheet necessarily, but it's something, I mean, they play so well together and play off each other. So just a lot of good things that you could say about her, but you never have to question her effort. She's always going to play hard for you.
So going back to the Belmont, the game the other night, there were a couple of milestones I think y'all passed. 200 wins inside RSEC for the program, and what, 650 wins total? Or
I think that's what I saw. 650 wins for the program, 200 wins in the CFSB Center. But, you know, again, those things are great. And we love to be able to get to those points and get to those milestones. But this particular team's focus is on chasing wins. And so I know that they talked about it, and I know it was on social media, but those are things that we want to continue to help this program grow. You know, this program needs to get to 1,000 wins. I saw where, you know, other people are getting to that milestone, but we just got to continue to take it one day at a time and continue to put numbers up and be able to just represent our university in a positive way.
Lineup changes. I mean, there's been some tinkering here. Obviously, that's probably a blessing when you have enough depth that you can do that. But has it been matchup related? Has it been chemistry related? Has it been everything in between? Like, what's the mix up been like for you, and why has it come to be in certain games?
In some areas, it's because people deserve it. You know, when JB came in and she was playing extremely well, and Hannah wasn't playing as well, then JB deserved to start. With Jordan and Alexis, I don't have 6 starting positions. So both of them are so mature, and both of them are team players and selfless that I went to them and I said, what do you want me to do? I said, my idea is just to alternate you every game. They said, Coach, that's fine. Whatever you need to do. But again, that's 5th-year seniors that have pretty much started every game their whole career, that are willing to say whatever you need to do for this team. So that's what makes me proud. But what people don't understand is who starts the game is the least thing that matters. Now it matters to them because their name gets called. They get to do a dance and that type of stuff. That's fun. And I get that. I mean, I used to be a kid once too. But ultimately, who's on the floor when the game's on the line? Who's on the floor when it matters the most? Who's getting the most minutes in crucial situations? To me, that's what matters more than starting. But we feel like that we have 8 kids that could start, and you can only start 5 by rule. So sometimes we fluctuate with it. Really doesn't have anything to do with matchups. Actually, it just has to do with what these players feel like is best for them, or who deserves it on any given night.
a few weeks ago, you were talking about your bench, and say, well, we're not going to be able to outscore too many teams from the bench. Well, guess what? You were 25-10 today. Yeah,
I thought JB came in, gave us great effort. I can't say enough about Casey. She doesn't have to score a point to give us what she gives us. And of course, Alexis came off the bench today early and gave us 6 pretty quick points. I think she scored most of those early, kind of got us off to a great start. And we just feel good about it. I mean, Fru came in and scored some points as well. But, you know, depth has been an issue in this program, and we've continued in recruiting to try to grow it. And we feel very confident in the depth of our basketball team. I think you saw the day when we made substitutions, we didn't go backwards. We just continued to maintain the standard, and the standard's the standard regardless of who's on the floor. So it's good to see a lot of people do positive things.
You like having so much time between now and Friday.
The schedule's a little crazy a little bit, but give the kids some time to get some rest tomorrow. They start classes back on Tuesday, so we're kind of going to get into more of a rhythm. But it'll give us some time to work on us. The schedule's what it is. So if they say we play Friday, we got to be ready on Friday.
Seeing guys like Riley and Jenna and Lucia scored, people that don't really get a lot of playing time during games. What's it kind of mean to you to see some of these guys get more points?
I love it. I mean, if it's just really, really hard. We have 16 kids on this team, 15 eligible to play this year because one is redshirting. You can't play 15 or 16 kids. It's impossible. So your basketball team's chemistry and as good as your basketball team, a lot of time depends on 10 through 16. And we have the best 10 through 16 in the country. They work hard every single day. They're great on the scout team. They have great attitudes. They cheer for other people till they get their turn. And that's what makes this program special. And that's what makes this basketball team special, is because they can be selfish. They want to play. Everybody wants to play, but they're about team. And so anytime you can see them go out and make shots, it makes you feel, I guess, extra special for them because they deserve it. They deserve everything that they get because they work just as hard.
Anybody else?
Be good.
All right.